Hello, this is Andrew from Data Space Digital, and today I'm going to show you how to set up Google Tag Manager and place it on your website. If you don't have an account, the first thing we'll do is create one. If you have one, you might see something like this where we've set up previously our Widget Factory account. For this one, I'll pretend I'm a fictitious florist called Lily Blooms, but of course, use your own company name as this will be personalized for you. Lily Bloom. Choose the country that you're based in. Again, this helps Google best serve the product for your own use. We're based in the United States, and our website is www.lilybloom.com. Now, we do have the option to set this for web, iOS, Android, or a server-side container. Generally, for most, I would say web is going to be the most common use, although I have been getting a lot of asks lately for server-side setup, and we'll be covering that in a future video. So for now, we'll create our web container, scroll through this and accept the agreement, and then click yes. Now we've arrived at the most technical point in all of this, which is we're going to have to put these two code snippets on our website, and each one needs to go in a specific location. So the first one, number one, as you'll see on your own Google Tag Manager, needs to be in the head section of your website. And again, I'm going to throw around some developer terms based on HTML. So if it sounds like I'm speaking a foreign language, please consult with your developer or reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you with this. But this needs to go on the head of every page, ideally as high as possible, as we want this to load before other scripts and other elements. Then there's a second portion of this, which will be in the body section of our website. That will cover if there's any issues with this first script. That way, if JavaScript or other functionality does not work, we can still have Google Tag Manager work. And then finally, we have a section for testing after we're done, and we've placed this on it. So now what I'll show you next is how we can place this on both a Shopify store and WordPress. And if you have Squarespace or Wix, the process is pretty similar. All right, now that we've logged into Shopify, let's get this Google Tag Manager code added to your website. So we're going to go over to your online store section underneath Sales Channels and click that to open. Now we're going to find our current theme, and the thing to look for, it'll show usually in lime green, and it should be at the top along with an image of what your website looks like. That is what you need to edit, as editing some of the other themes will not affect your current site. And also be careful, we are editing your live website. So please, if you are not a seasoned developer, please don't try this at home, and I would recommend contacting someone from your development staff. If you run into any issues along the way, please let me know and I'll do my best to help. So we're going to actually click these three dots here to open up the secondary menu and then click Edit Code. Again, do not mess with these files unless you know what you're doing, but I'll show you how to where to place this within this file. Again, if you remember, our GTM code has two components, one head code and one body code. So as you can see here, we have our head element, and this is where we're going to need to put that first code snippet. I personally like to do it right after these meta and link sections. I generally hit enters to create some white space for us to place our code. Now, if you go back to Google Tag Manager, we'll copy over our first portion of code, and then I'll navigate back to Shopify and paste it in where I've cleared that space. You don't have to do this. This is just me trying to organize things nicely. I'm going to highlight these other rows and click indent so that everything is fully aligned. And I'll have one line of white space in between the code that I've just added and the rest of it. Now we'll have to do the same thing for the body section of this. So we'll copy the body code from Google Tag Manager. We'll either scroll, or I also just like to click Control F and then find the opening body code by searching for it. it's a lot easier than scrolling through 255 lines of code to find it. And again, you want to put this as high up in the body as possible. So I like to do it right after the opening tag. And again, I like to clear some room before I paste. And so we'll paste in that second section into the body. And again, because I like to keep things organized, I'm going to click indent twice so that way everything is nice and organized. Now, if everything looks good to you, you can click save. And again, this will update your live site. So please be careful. Now that I've done this, we're going to make our changes saved. And now we can actually move into testing. So there are several different ways we can test this. Before I do that, I'm actually going to show you quick how to do this on WordPress. But if you just have a Shopify site, you can skip ahead to the testing portion. All right, for those of you that are using WordPress, let's go ahead and add this Google Tag Manager snippet for WordPress sites. Just like Shopify, we're going to need to edit our theme files. So again, if you're not a developer, please ask for development help as you will be adjusting real code and you could break something. So for WordPress, we're going to go under Appearance, and then you should look for Theme File Editor. And once you see that, open it up from the menu. And what the file we're looking for is called header.php. Just like we saw with Shopify, we're going to find the head and the body section. I like to put this just below the last meta tag. And again, I'll indent before, and we'll copy over the head code first, and then we'll copy over the body. So paste this in, and just like Shopify, I'll give this a few indents to make the code look nice. And then we'll have a line of white space in between that so it's easy to read. Now we'll go back to GTM and copy over the body section of the tag. And again, you can scroll to this, or I like to just search with Control F and type in body. And it should be around line 44, at least that's where it is in my setup. And what I'll do is I'll click enter to create, again, those lines of white space, and I'll paste it in. And again, just for my own sake, I like to clean this up, making sure everything is all nice and organized. Now, the only thing you have to do next is click save to update this file. Now, I'm not going to because I actually have Google Tag Manager installed a different way, and I'll show you that right now. If you do not want to actually edit your theme files for WordPress, I'll actually show you another way that you can do it. And we'll leave this. So if you have installed Google Analytics, this honestly, SiteKit is my preferred tool for both GA4 and for Google Tag Manager. And if we go under settings here, we can actually configure that same Google Tag Manager container directly from SiteKit. So no editing the theme files required. This plugin will do that for you. And it can also set up Search Console, Analytics, and page speed insights. So if you want to have a low code, or honestly, I think this is a pretty great tool. This is another alternative to easily add Google Tag Manager for your site. And just like with Shopify, there are also apps and plugins that do the same thing. But for Shopify, I do find it easier to just go ahead and edit the theme files. All right, now that we've added Google Tag Manager, either through the Shopify or WordPress method, now the only thing we have left to do is test to make sure that our code is in fact on our website. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy the URL of our website and paste that into line 3, and then just click on this test button. Now, don't be alarmed if it says something went wrong. Please try again. This can be Google sometimes does get this wrong. I actually do find if you close that out and then try again, this can resolve that issue. And again, if this is still throwing some sort of issue, it could be a caching. But one really good way to test this out is just to open up the preview setting for Google Tag Manager in the upper right. And you can see here we have a stale state. That's likely why we are not seeing this. So I'm actually going to go ahead and refresh the whole page. And if you do encounter this issue, that might be why. Let's actually try what we were doing before and see if that would fix that. Google tag was not detected on your website. Okay, that is fine because we're going to use the preview method to verify this as well. And again, just paste in that same URL. Generally, I recommend just using your homepage and then click connect. So now you should see your website is loaded over here. And what we're going to check here, yes, is that we are connected. So this is looking good. And another way you can verify this too, there are several browser extensions that check to see if Google Tag Manager is connected. You could try the preview route, or I'll link this in the description of this video. If you click on the Tag Assistant button, you can also check to see, yes, in fact, we do have Google Tag Manager installed, in addition to our Google Analytics, which we set up in a previous video. So there you have it. That's how you easily can add Google Tag Manager to your Shopify or WordPress site. This has been another training from Data Space Digital. If you have any questions, please reach out, leave a comment, and like this video if this helped, as this will help me reach as many people as possible. Thanks again, and have a nice day.